This latest NGS headline was met with mixed feelings. SEGA was supposed to be giving us the big update to PSO2 NGS called the Ultra Evolution or Version 2 update. They revealed creative spaces, which seems to be a Minecraft Redstone engineer's dream with all that you can do, but left a sour taste for those that wanted something different with the combat or main gameplay, as they showed that nothing has really changed and are continuing on the same cycle by going back to Alio for a third time with a new reskinned enemy type. So justifiably, players were disappointed or upset at this, and some have decided to abandon ship. SEGA's only saving grace to this is that they teased a higher difficulty content for the month of August.
I would like to see higher difficulty content that can be played in a party instead of solo. This was their response. In an August update, we plan to release a new type of high difficulty quest, in which players will work together in parties to take on challenges. Unlike with dual quests, the strategies for this quest will not involve specialized equipment. There will also be a new boss enemy dedicated to this quest. That was what they said.
But can this truly break us out of this funk, or are we doomed to spiral around endlessly in Alpha? I can't say for sure, but it seems that SEGA is putting a lot of faith into this, so much so that they have been giving us hints to what this might be to help remedy all this backlash. Several players have already started to make guesses as to what this might be. Could it be divide quests, dungeons, raids? Well, I actually believe this is going to be challenge mode. Not from classic PSO2, but something like the original Phantasy Star Online one. For those who don't know, challenge mode or C mode is a feature in version 2 of PSO back from 2001, which allows you to undergo different time challenges with a team of people. Your items, level, equipment, and techniques are all preset at the beginning of each challenge according to your class and the stage that you're at. Each stage is a set time to complete it under by for a certain rank, and you have to navigate through various stages, puzzles, fight enemies, and make do with items that you find inside. Essentially, challenge mode is like a survival game. After doing some research, I found that this was the best guess I could come up with, as there are a multitude of statements from SEGA that line up with it. The first one is the most obvious, the version 2 name being used for this era of NGS, which comes from PSO. There are other things from back in the day with this version 2 update, such as a PvP mode, but they don't quite fit what else SEGA has been saying. A statement here from Yuya Kimura, the series producer, states, "In August, we plan to release end content quests that will have a significant amount of random elements designed for party play, and will encourage multiple attempts. At the same time, we're also planning to release ultra difficult quests towards party play." PSO's challenge mode pretty much fits this criteria mentioned before, and unlike classic PSO2 C mode, had random elements thrown into the mix with items and enemies. These random elements used to be generated from section IDs of the players themselves, but I think this portion will be used differently for the NGS variant. On to the next reason is the removal of SG rewards from classic PSO2's challenge mode for the start of the version 2 update. These three missions are switching out various SG tickets, which are freemium currency used for both Classic and NGS, for augment transfer passes, which are only usable in Classic PSO2. SEGA has mentioned in their global-only show Headline Plus that this quest mode was originally supposed to come out in the month of June, which is the same time as this removal, but the quest mode was delayed to August since it is not ready for release. I don't think this is a coincidence, but of course it isn't solid proof. Also on this Headline Plus, though, there was a dump of information on this quest mode that I'll list here. First off, this will be instanced, so it'll be off into like a dungeon or some sort of area where you'll be with a group of players and not like in the open world. And then this is procedurally generated areas, or at least procedural content, so there'll be some sort of randomness to them. And then this content will be horizontal, where I didn't interpret this as like content to do that doesn't rely on the main content progression, or maybe it does not give progress towards your core gameplay, such as leveling up or skill points, but still gives rewards that might be valuable to you. And then it'll be like a mode from a previous title in the series they mentioned, but just not a direct carbon copy. For the last piece in this Headline Plus, the community manager G-Wiz was playing the original PSO for a good duration of the stream as another hint.
So this run through, we're in Forest 1 right now. Not completely unlike the forest at the beginning of PSO2 Classic, right? Very much thematically rhymes the original PSO.
Yes.
But what's interesting about this, I wonder if this will weigh into anything in the future. I don't know. every time you run through this, it's a little different. It's a little more unique. It makes going through the same area over and over again a lot less repetitive, because there is that randomized element to it.
I see. Yep.
You see what I'm picking?
I see what you're putting down.
With all this combined, it's really hard to believe it would be anything else other than challenge mode, or at least something related to the original Phantasy Star Online. When it sounds to me, it will be heavily inspired from PSO, but it'll be tweaked for a modern audience in a format that suits New Genesis, and maybe, just maybe, will be endgame content that we as players could be finally satisfied with. Let me know what you guys think of all this, and if you think this will save New Genesis's lack of endgame content. And also, as one more thing, there will be unarmed attacks.